He don't move with love. Love is of the Father. He chooses his own way. So I'll know you by your fruit. I'm just sitting here watching a guy make a video. He was talking about a straight way and passed it down. I'm like, huh? I ain't gonna repeat what he said, but I find it funny. Then you gotta be careful. Be careful what I mention because I don't want to slander the wrong person. That's crazy. But then, on 10, if I see something going wrong, yes, I'm gonna intervene. I'm not saying you don't step up and give righteous judgment as a son or a daughter of the Most High. You judge righteously when you see a situation. When you see it, evidence. Can't just say that because you may see certain people get favor. Well, doesn't the Most High show those who are obedient? The Father shows those who are obedient to his commands favor, right? He showed Israel, the Hebrews, favor in choosing them, right? Because of their obedience. He was some people. He can choose you, but that don't mean you're gonna adhere or even care about it. Like you see our people today. You can tell them they're Hebrew Israelites, they're gonna look at you crazy and tell you something about Christianity, like family. Where's the Christian scroll at? The biblical scroll is based on the God of the Israelites, the Hebrews. Yes, the invitation is to all nations, but particularly them, because they chose to listen, like today. Not all, but they the ones. And you have it in every nation. Every nation. But I have to question our people. I'm like, okay, we do deal in giving our bread to people. But when I look out across the landscape of what we giving money for, I'm like, I ain't gotta talk about nobody or slander anyone. I'm looking for the evidence. If you collecting money from God's people, right? I don't care who you are. You collecting money for the people. You collecting money under the pretense of managing it for the kingdom, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if I don't see the evidence of that, then I have to bring that out. You got to bring the truth of it out. Because people will collect money and build their own kingdom. And God forbid if something happen. And those that entrusted this person that they made a shepherd over them are going to give them a return because they feel like they have invested in fertile ground. Well, I planted these, it's going to bring back a harvest, family. This ain't GMO. This is based off Joshua 1 and 8. It says, meditate on this book of the law. You think about it. Whatever you doing, you use his ways. Because his ways are, what did he say? Yea, lead to that Joshua 1 and 8. Then you shall have much success and prosperity. You do things according to the instruction. But you gotta have a heart like him when you're doing it. Can't have a wicked heart. That's why I say a lot of people out here, they coming up. I feel sorry for the people now. I see the evidence that, and I do give to shepherds, but I need to see them every day on kingdom business, bringing people out of the world and creating that safe space. If you're the shepherd, you're the leader, you should be building in a certain area where the assembly can tabernacle together. Yeah, we know that people should be coming out of the world. You should be teaching them to build a business instead of just giving you the money. I ain't gonna no. I retract that. We should teach one another to build business. If I'm giving you that money, we should collectively so we can build a business. So when you need, you don't have to go through all that red tape. We don't need to do business the way of the heathen. We do business based on God's eternal law, and we do it in an upright way where we have respect for the law. We're moving like America. They pass a bill, say it's the law, and when something happens, they bend it to work their way, work for them, and they never get found guilty. Like the Bible said, they find themselves not guilty. Like God is a judge. Everything he speaks is law. How can you not? If you've never been to a church or none of that, when you read this book, it's going to tell you. It's common sense. Wow. Because everything was created on his word. So that means that word has power. It has balance. It's the truth, the way, and the light. That's what he told us when he came in the flesh. He told you, his word told you. That's evidence enough. That's all I need. That's my foundation. Now let's go. Mm-mm. And I thought about that. I'm like, you might as well start collecting money. You can build something because you really gonna put it into the people. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna build what you got going on and invite the people in. You want to invest? I invest. That's why I say our kingdom and the way we do business, it's not gonna look corporate. A lot of people, well, you should get a business license. Woo! The business license is that you're able to establish the business and then to maintain it in such a way because you are chosen. You can't go connecting everything you do with the world. Even a lot of our so-called shepherd leaders, they are deceived. Why they keep? Because the first thing they're going to, because I'm a representative of the Almighty, I got to move with his mind and his heart. He ain't closing the door of deaf ears on people, and especially if you in relationship with him, you take that one step, he guarantee you he gonna take two steps. But we ain't getting two steps out of a lot of us. I was listening to Lucas earlier. I don't know if y'all up on him, but he make a lot of sense. I listen to brother. He's one of the new grassroots to me. One of the grassroots media powers, black grassroots media powers, and it ain't ordered and established by no outside media hand or money. It's how we move it naturally, according to the natural law. That's what I'm talking about. Even when you got the brothers that's in these groups and religions that tell you you need standing, so you mean tell me whatever I do, I have to go through an outside entity that's not God, didn't that didn't give us the law or not even able to establish it throughout the earth. They need the Most High. These humans, you tell me I got to go through them instead of go through the Most High. Somebody told you wrong. Acknowledge you. They ain't never acknowledge that. United Nations, everybody love everybody. No, that's bull crap. They don't. Some of your own kinfolk don't even love you. So I refuse to believe that heathen just don't outright do saying that because we keep it real around here. Keep it real, and they say funky. Because we're gonna tell the truth, and people don't want to hear the truth, family. People don't want to hear the truth. They get so used. Their lives are saturated with a bunch of lies and this fictitious picture of, like I said, like we just got this big ass United Nations. Everybody love everybody all of a sudden. I assure you, that's just a lie. You're a lie. The truth ain't in you. The Most High told you there's a way for you to show that you love and you are obedient to Him. He told you to love, so that's His command. He's taking care of you. Yes, the Most High is taking care of His children. Fair use copyright, fair use copyright. You might hear the sister. Y'all check out Sister Latoya O'Keel. I'm getting my wine. Saturated my west side. That's that dough. That's that dough thing, baby. Woo! That's strong. That's them grapes. Hey, that's what we gonna be sipping. You know? We gonna be sipping grapes in the kingdom like kings, you dig? Talking about some wine heads. I ain't no wine head. We're gonna be sipping on them grapes, them grapes. Remember when the two spies went over to the land to spy the land out to see if it was a goodly land and pleasant land, like the Father had said. They was going in there to establish the hand of the Most High, right? The land that He had gave to our ancestors. And they brought back them big old grapes. What you think they was doing with them grapes? You know what I'm saying? They was making wine. Our people are, look, we the winers. You dig? We are royal bloodline, family. We are monarchy, the eternal monarchy, and we don't need no, earth doesn't have any authority to give us to fulfill that function. That comes from the Most High. So understand, I don't have nothing against politicians and all that, governments, but I got to tell the truth. I gotta tell you the truth. They don't have the Most High ain't dealing with all that. That's man's attempt. You know, that's man's attempt, and to be straightforward with you, that's people that the Most High hadn't even dealt with that taught you that. Not that He hate them, He created all, but He has a particular love for His, whom He chose to do A, B, C, and D. You ain't getting out that covenant, black folk. America lost the war. Yeah, people they listen to propaganda. People listen to propaganda. We ain't doing research. What is propaganda, Wayne? Everything everybody talking about, and everybody ain't talking about the truth. Now, that professor I can believe because what he's saying is based off law. He ain't just, excuse me, I don't need the camera on. Let me stick this phone in my pocketbook. He's not just saying that off the rip. That's like even looking at the financial situation. When you look at the system, I understand to look at what is fractional banking. What is this? What is that? But in the end, I realize it's all based off not that America has something with intricate value. You're the value. I realize I'm the currency. As long as they got me, they can go. They get loans off ass, basically. You know how your people tell you, man, don't be trying to get nothing off ass. Don't be borrowing from Peter pay Paul. America is getting loans off ass because we're the citizens and they can use our work, tax our work. That's how they get money to run this government and the systems that they created, right? Off ass. But they won't tell you, oh, don't be betting off ass or doing this and that. Like, what kind of business model is that? That's not a secure business model because when the nations of the East, like today, they rising up. They've been on that. You know what I'm saying? If you look at how America even creates this money, I'm not even gonna get into the detail of it. But a lot of y'all talking about you own this and own that, you'll realize you really don't own shit. You renting space that they sold, the air, the land, the food, they sold all that to somebody else. Somebody else controlled all that. But it's still sitting there like you can actually, they allow you to buy into it and telling you you own it. Miss a tax. It's a tax payment. We're gonna see how much your ass own it. They gonna show you how much you own it. Them that's charging you, that's forcing you to pay the taxes, that is the owner. Why? It goes back to bonds. This nation is ran through finances, right? Bonds. It's really off ass, but they can sell our labor and tax to get money to operate whatever they ain't nothing wrong with that. If that's how you gotta do it, that's how you gotta do it. But shit, you gotta let me know because I might not trust who you doing business with. You know, I might not trust who you. I don't care if you are in the position to manage. You the CEO of the corporation. 'Cause that's what it is, a corporation. So you the CEO of the corporation. That's cool. I'm gonna respect your decision, but that don't mean I gotta go along with the shit because that's the decision you made. And I'm gonna voice my truth and opinion. I'm gonna voice my truth about it. I'm gonna examine it. Yes, I'm gonna examine it. I don't have to agree with it. I respect your decision, but that don't mean I have to agree with the shit, especially if it's not in my best interest. And whatever business they doing ain't in me and my family's best interest. Hell no. You talking about, well, you don't got a job. That's earned income tax, dummy. You pay taxes for everything. You go to the motherfucking store right now, you go buy something, guess what? You gonna pay a fucking tax on it. So they taxing you on everything. You talking about I ain't got no fucking job. Our people act fucking slow. Stop with that. That's taxation off of earned income, dog. Stop telling people they don't know this or know that. All of them that came over here and annexed and took this motherfucker and formed their own. That's because they were being taxed. And they felt like, oh hell no, I'm not giving no king or no none of these people talking about they rulers. I'm not giving them shit. Look at the Boston Tea Party. They were sending tea over here, taxing our ancestors like y'all gonna buy this. Shit, what did they do? They sent that right back at them like, I don't think so. You take your tea and kiss my tail. That was about taxation. That wasn't because the corporation and business was good and everything was running smooth and people was going along with whatever, was laid down. Hell no. I don't care if Billy Blank and Billy Bob, I don't give a shit how many study hours he been doing. I'm gonna read a story for myself to see if his study hours match up to what it's saying, because a lot of these people play games. I don't trust them. I wouldn't trust them with my dead dog. Hell no, you better do your own research. Don't trust none of them. And now I put that on everything. Hell no. I don't trust myself sometimes. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back though. I'm gonna come and tap into what's going on. I definitely got to tap in. Anyway, peace and blessings, y'all. Blessings. The Hoo tribe, the Judah tribe has awakened. Somebody got to answer for what the hell going on. Judah won't answer.